Hello and welcome to South Wales and the Aberdare Road Races. It's the premier Welsh motorcycle race meeting of the year. The television cameras return to the scene of the very first live motorcycle racing TV broadcast, which took place in 1955, 5 years after the first official meeting at this circuit. Many top names have competed here over the years. Mike Hailwood, Malcolm Uphill, John Surtees, and even the more modern-day riders such as John McGuinness, Steve Plater and Carl Fogarty have all raced around this tight, twisting circuit. Mark Goodings is back at Aberdare and looking to defend the Welsh Open title that he won here 12 months ago.
We were lucky enough last year to win it over aggregate, so we're running the number one this year, so hopefully it fetches me a bit of luck and we can regain it. It's so unique, you know, it is a road race, but it's so short circuit, and it's, I don't know, it's just a bit different, and it just makes you smile every time you do it. It's you know, even when it's wet, it's really grippy. It normally runs like clockwork, so yeah, just keep coming back and hopefully we can be on that top step.
Ryan Dixon won the Welsh Open title back in 2022 and looking to regain the crown this time around. His cousin is Grand Prix rider Jake Dixon, so he comes from good stock.
Always the goal, obviously, turn up to try and win. I was here last year, but I actually crashed at Anglesey, so I've got my own Yamaha R1, which I race at no limits. And I crashed the weekend before at Anglesey, and I didn't know at the time, but I had a broken scaphoid, which didn't come up on an X-ray till a couple of weeks later when I went for my repeat. So yeah, that hampered progress a little bit, but try and get the title back this year. Just a great little event, really. You know, nice, a good crowd, and they all seem to sort of appreciate it, and yeah, it's just good fun. Close racing and a friendly paddock, you know, what more could you ask for, really?
There's a strong lineup again this year with the likes of Jay Bellis-Smith, one of the favourites for honours. He's no stranger to winning at Aberdare.
I've been coming here for the last 22 years, and before that when I was a kid. So with it only being 5 miles away from my hometown in Merthyr Tydfil, it means the world to me. All the great riders have ridden here. We've had Mike Hailwood, John Surtees, Ian Lacher, Jason Griffiths, the Dunlops have been here. So it's just full of history. It's just an amazing place. Where else can you go 135 miles an hour around a Victorian park? I'm privileged to live so close to such an amazing event. So yeah, I'm very lucky.
So let's take a closer look at the circuit. They're all excited about racing on. At just under a mile in length, it's one of the shortest racetracks anywhere on the planet. However, it's fast and flowing, and there's been racing here since just after the Second World War. The park itself has been here longer and goes back to Queen Victoria. Despite its shortness, there are quite a few gear changes and there are plenty of overtaking opportunities. And the first turn at Rosaries is one of the most spectacular of any road circuit. The lap record is inside 40 seconds, which shows just how quick this layout is. Let's get on with the action, beginning with the lightweight, ultra-lightweight race.
This is how they'll line up. We have a mixture of 250s, 400s, and there's a 125 or 2 in there as well. In pole position, Will Burchell on bike 49. So 5 rows of riders taking part in this lightweight, ultra-lightweight race. So away we go then, and Will Burchell on bike 49 looking to get the whole shot along the Swallow Straight, but also getting away Chris Northover on 786. It's very tight for second place as they come into Rosaries. Oh, and it looks like Tony Griffiths on bike 10 may have taken the lead. We're riding with Michael Rees through Chapel and then onto the back straight and into Paddock Bend, then round into Foggies. Then it's Buckley's, then Fountain and Gordon's, and that completes a lap. And already Chris Northover is now in the lead. So this is through Paddock, Foggies, and into Buckley's Bends. plenty of positions being swapped in this early first opening lap as they begin lap number 2. We're riding with Michael Rees back in 4th position. It's still Northover who leads. Burchell is in 2nd place still. Griffiths back in 4th. Looking back from Burchell on the 400. Northover on the Honda. So on board then with the man in 3rd place, Tony Griffiths. Around Foggies. And then into Buckley's. Northover and Burchell still contesting 1st place out in front. And you can see already we've had so many position changes. It shows even though it's a tight, narrow track, there are plenty of overtaking opportunities. And that's Michael Rees looking to take one, and indeed he does, right on cue. So Michael Rees goes into 3rd place past Tony Griffiths. The battle of the 400 Kawasaki's. It is still Northover though, who leads from Burchell. The gap still pretty much the same, back to Rees in 3rd and Griffiths in 4th. But Burchell just staying in the same racing line as Chris Northover. So they start yet another lap. Michael Rees still holding on to 3rd place. Griffiths just behind him. Further back we have the likes of Hamby and Ellis and Edwards, etc. Oh, just kicking through the bales. Well, that was Chris Northover. A little bit of wacky races from him. Sending up a bit of a straw bale smoke signal going back as Michael Rees looks to take advantage. Maybe Burchell was just distracted by the straw that had been kicked up. And they're now coming up on the slower riders. There's the MZ250 of Chris Pettit coming up. So through they go. Will Burchell still there on bike 49. So we start yet another lap. And it's still Northover with a bit of a gap this time back to Burchell, but not one he'd be comfortable with right now. Burchell continuing to hold 2nd place. But after the opening lap and everybody swapping positions, it really has settled down a little bit. Certainly when they've got in amongst the slower traffic, he'd open it up a little bit more. Michael Rees still holding 3rd place, but he looks to have dropped Tony Griffiths. We're back with Michael Rees in 3rd place now on board the Kawasaki ZX-R 400. We're looking back from Will Burchell, also on his ZX-R 400. Now then, a rider just in front of them, and I think that's Dan Pearson on the, it is on the 125. The lone 125 that's in this race. So Will Burchell. Oh, Burchell takes the lead from Northover. So he goes through. I don't know whether Dan Pearson had anything to do with that. Oh, and he kicks, and there goes the checkered flag for Burchell. Burchell takes it. A last gasp move gives him the victory. How it finishes, Michael Rees in 3rd place. Chris Northover denied victory. He has to settle for 2nd. Will Burchell, the lightweight winner. The riders and their machines taking up positions for this 10-lap Park Challenge 600 final. Conditions still great here in South Wales. It's Ryan Dixon Who else in pole position? Alongside him, Jay Bellis-Smith with Mark Goodings on the front row. Then we have lots of competitors again. We have 6 rows of riders this time around. So Ryan Dixon in pole position on bike number 7. A little bit of a kick there was Andy Hayes just out of position, but here they go down into the first turn, and it is Dixon who leads. Jay Bellis-Smith slots into second place. Not much room on a very tight track as they go into Chapel and onto the back straight. Through Paddock Bend, Foggy's, Buckley's Bends, we're riding. We're now back with Mark Goodings looking back at Andrew Smart in 4th position. But it is still Dixon who leads from Bellis-Smith. Well, on a tight circuit like this, you can pretty much guarantee close racing. As Smart goes to go past Goodings, and he does. So Smart goes up into 3rd place at the expense of Mark Goodings. Meanwhile, Dixon and Bellis-Smith still going toe-to-toe out in front. Bellis-Smith just patiently sitting behind Ryan Dixon. Those two just threatening to break away from Smart and Goodings. Oh, just a little bit of a squirm as Dixon begins this next lap as he goes into Rosaries. Now we can watch from Dean McMaster. This is how tight it is going into Rosaries on this opening lap. It's getting a screen full of Justin Collins there on bike 82. No, just a little bit of a drift there from Mark Goodings on bike number 1. So he's dropped down to 5th place. He did well there, considering how tight and short this track is, to reel it back in. Meanwhile, Bellis-Smith refusing to let go of Ryan Dixon out in front. Dixon, though, just threatening now also to pull away a little bit from Jay Bellis-Smith. Dixon on the Triumph, Bellis-Smith on the Honda. Bellis-Smith really trying to stay with Dixon. But Dixon is inch perfect around Aberdare. Joe Landon still holding 4th place ahead of Mark Goodings. There is Landon on the Kawasaki, Goodings on the Yamaha. Ryan Dixon then beginning another lap. His name has P1 next to it yet again. Just that little rise at the start there. The rear just going light. We're with Justin Collins. This is just inside the top 10. Justin Collins on bike number 82, the Yamaha R6. We're back with Bellis-Smith continuing to try to hunt down Ryan Dixon. But it's going to take a mistake, I think, from Dixon for a change in the leaderboard at the top. And Dixon going faster and faster. 10 laps the race distance, of course. Jay Bellis-Smith, well, he's trying, but he's just watching Dixon. To go back with Justin Collins. Justin Collins in a battle there. Was that Matthews that just went past? Looking back from Dean McMaster. Dean in 6th place behind Goodings and Landon, and there's that battle for 7th going on behind them as well. Well, Ryan Dixon certainly seems to have this in the bag. Jay Bellis-Smith just cannot get close to Ryan Dixon, and Dixon just putting in laps slightly quicker than Bellis-Smith, and because of that the gap at the top is extending. Dixon's fastest 39.6. Only 3 riders have gone inside the 40-second mark in this race: Dixon, Bellis-Smith and Andrew Smart. Well, Jay Bella-Smith knows he's just going to have to settle for second place unless Dixon makes a mistake. And the way Dixon's riding, you can't see that happening. In amongst the traffic. That's the only thing that might have a bearing on the outcome of this race. But Ryan Dixon, you'd like to think that he's got enough of a gap that even if he is held up momentarily by the slower riders, it won't be enough for Jay Bella-Smith to gain and pass. That is Brandon Brindred on bike 98. Well, here comes Ryan Dixon again, inch perfect. He's been in unbeatable form all day today. And he's showing it once again in this Park Challenge final. Jay Bella-Smith just around 3 seconds now behind. So victory then for Ryan Dixon. He takes it. Jay Bella-Smith will be in second place with Andy Smart in third. Confirmation of that result. Mark Goodings eventually passing Joey Lambden for fourth place, Andy Smart in third, Jay Bella-Smith second, but Ryan Dixon a deserved Park Challenge 600 final winner.
Stay with us, as after the break there's more road racing action from Aberdare. Welcome back to Wales and the Aberdare circuit. We're stepping back in time now for the first Golden Era race of the weekend.
This is a race that has Alex Sinclair on the Ducati in pole position. And again, a good entry. We have 4 rows of riders competing in this all manner of machinery: Kawasaki, Suzuki, Honda, Yamaha. 42 Alex Sinclair on the Ducati in pole position. As away we go. 101 is Tony Griffiths. But it will be Sinclair who takes the lead. And it's getting a little bit tight for third place. 120, Shannon Bishop on the Suzuki. We're looking back from Marty Robbins. Sinclair already threatening to pull away from Griffiths. Pearson on the Kawasaki, Bishop on the Suzuki, Axon on the Honda. And that Ducati 748 of Alex Sinclair. Plenty of grunt. Going to Rosaries. And already spaces, but a battle really on. Shannon Bishop on bike 120, just about holding third place. But back down the order with Martin Robbins on bike 617. The Honda CB500. Sinclair through paddock foggies and into Buckley's. Again, looking back from Marty Robbins. But this battle still rages on. Dan Pearson just ahead of Wayne Axon. There's Robbins as well. So Sinclair pulling further and further away. Tony Griffiths in second place, but third it's still Bishop, only just though from Pearson. Axon is holding fifth place. Looking to go around the long way around. Dan Pearson on that ER500. So Alex Sinclair seems to have things sorted in first place. Tony, as Lee Davis goes through. Lee Davis on the Suzuki Bandit. This is further back down the order. I was saying Sinclair looks comfortable in first. Griffiths looking fairly sound in second place, but third, big question mark. So there's Sinclair. Massive gap now to Griffiths. Sinclair with the fastest lap of the race so far, 42.5. Pearson and Bishop still contesting third. This little six-way fight. So this is looking back at Dan Hanby. Oh, in fact, going past Richard Hughes. Pearson again looking to go. Oh, he's going to try and tuck up the inside, and I think he's done him. He has. Pearson goes through on Bishop for third place. They come around Gordon's, and there is the checkered flag. Alex Sinclair takes it. Tony Griffiths will be in second position, and it should be Dan Pearson for third. But Alex Sinclair dominating that one. Bishop does indeed have to go for fourth place this time. Dan Pearson in third, Tony Griffiths second, Alex Sinclair the race winner on the Ducati.
Next, we turn our attention to the second lightweight, ultra-lightweight race.
Will Burchell, race winner in the first lightweight, ultra-lightweight race, starts this one in pole position again alongside him, Chris Northover. Burchell took that from Northover yesterday with Michael Rees in third place. No Rees this time around, unfortunately, but we do have 5 rows of riders. To go racing then at Aberdare Park as the lights go out and away we go. And it's a good start from Griffiths. So Tony Griffiths on bike 101 managing to get the whole shot. Just ahead of Will Burchell. Chris Northover's there as well on 786. But we're riding with the race leader on the Kawasaki 400, Tony Griffiths. And it might be a change. I think Northover and Burchell still trying to decide who's going to have second place in this opening stages. And it is Northover in second, Burchell in third. And those three already threatening to break away from the rest of the field. Tony Griffiths again providing the pictures. Out of Gordon's onto the straight they go. Griffiths just still holding the inside as long as he can turn in time and going along with the long way and taking the lead. Chris Northover just kept the power up and manages to spurt himself away from Tony Griffiths. So Burchell still in third behind Griffiths, but we have a new race leader, Chris Northover on the Honda. Burchell looking for a gap. Burchell, of course, winning yesterday's race in this class. Oh, maybe, just maybe there might be a gap here. No, Griffiths closes the door on him. Oh, maybe not. Burchell has gone through. I thought there was a gap there and Burchell has exploited it, so Griffiths drops back to third. However, it's Northover who's still leading as they begin the next lap. Honda NC30, the choice of weaponry for Chris Northover. Kawasaki ZXR 400 for Will Burchell. Griffiths also on the Kawasaki 400. And just making his way past Burton. And with a short lap such as this, less than a mile in length this circuit, then you will get riders getting lapped. And I think it might be Bradshaw. In fact, there's a few of them here are going to get past. And that's Warren Harvey on bike 119. That was a little bit too close for comfort. Northover from Burchell still out in front. It's going to take something very special, you'd think, now from Will Burchell to get past Chris Northover, because that gap has widened and is widening. But Burchell does seem to have eased off a little bit. I think he knows maybe the game is up. Chris Northover is still lapping at a fair lick. So lap 9 of 10. Northover and Burchell, the only riders to lap inside not only 44 seconds, but 45 seconds as Tony Griffiths goes through. 85 is John Cook, about to be lapped by Chris Northover. One more lap to go then for Chris Northover. Will Burchell in second place, some distance back, and then a bit of a few seconds further back in third place is Tony Griffiths, and then a big gap back to Phil Ellis in fourth. Dave Edwards is in fifth place. But we're back with Tony Griffiths. However, it's going to be Chris Northover who's going to take it. He was second in the first lightweight race yesterday. He's going to take victory this time around, all being well. You can't see him messing up now. Not too far to go. So the Honda is going to see off the Kawasaki's of Burchell and Griffiths, and indeed he does. So there it is. Checkered flag is out for Chris Northover. 13 seconds the distance at the end between race winner Northover and Burchell. Griffiths a further 4 seconds back in third, completing the podium.
Don't go away, as there's more racing from Aberdare coming right up. Hello again from the Aberdare Road Races in South Wales.
The twins taking to the grid then for 10 laps of the Sound of Thunder final here at Aberdare. In pole position, who else? Number 7, Ryan Dixon. Alongside him, Andrew Smart and Will Holland. Matt Dixon, Alex Sinclair, Dean McMaster making up row 2, with Jones, Pearson, Smallman on row 3, Hayes, Clayton, Morris on row 4. They're about to go racing at Aberdare. Ryan Dixon, the man to watch on bike number 7, qualified in pole on the Suzuki's. Away we go. Number 10, Andrew Smart, looking to get a good start as well. But it could be 93. It is Will Holland who takes the whole shot. We're riding with Alex Sinclair right in the middle of the pack. In fact, Dixon slipped back to third from that start. But it's Holland from Smart, from Dixon. Into Foggies they go. Out of Foggies into Buckley's, and then the Fountain. Max Dixon in 4th place. We're back with Sinclair, number 42 on the Aprilia. This race seems to have settled down a little bit, perhaps, or have I spoken too soon, as Ryan Dixon starts to have a look. It's a short, tight lap, 9/10 of a mile around Aberdare. Still no change in the order. McMaster still holding 5th position. And that's who we ride with again, Dean McMaster. So let's chalk off another lap again with Holland in the P1 position, and Ryan Dixon go for it this time. I think he's got him. Ryan Dixon should appear in 2nd place. Indeed he does. So Ryan Dixon goes through on Andy Smart. So Ryan Dixon now into 2nd place. We're back with Alex Sinclair, just battling away with Dean McMaster. So Smart in 3rd, Max Dixon in 4th. And Ryan Dixon looking very lively on the rear wheel of the race leader Will Holland as they come to do another lap. And is he going to do to Holland what he did to Smart? Not this time. Meanwhile, Alex Sinclair again providing the pictures on the Aprilia. Oh my, that was a mistake. So up goes Sinclair. You can see they're taking it right to the grass. Will Holland, the race leader, as Dixon tries up the inside this time. Dixon's going for it, and Dixon's got it. So Dixon goes through into 1st now. So having been 3rd in the early stages of this race, Ryan Dixon goes up into 1st place now. Will Holland, the race leader from the start, is now in 2nd position, and having passed Holland, Dixon is now threatening to break away. Meanwhile, we're back with Dean McMaster. Alex Sinclair providing the pictures, back in 5th position now, number 42. Looking for bike 142, Max Dixon, but he's some distance ahead now on the road. Here comes Ryan Dixon, and there is a gaggle of slower riders just ahead, and that might just help the likes of Will Holland, Andy Smart and Max Dixon close that gap to the race leader. It all depends where Ryan Dixon, if he can get past them without losing too much time. Well, there is Lloyd Morris. Just ahead, Lee Stanaway. Will Burchell as well. Kevin Clayton. Dixon's just going to pick them one at a time. Clear road for Alex Sinclair on the Aprilia. 10 laps the race distance, of course. Well, there is Morris. Now, where is Dixon? There's the battle for second place. Right in amongst the slower riders. Lee Stanaway about to be lapped as well. So too Lloyd Morris. But I think that kind of worked for Holland more than it did Smart. There's Dixon. Andy Smart just losing a little bit of ground on Will Holland. Oh, Alex Sinclair just has to be careful with the slower rider just ahead of him. No blue flags, of course, to warn the riders that the others are just becoming behind him. Will Burchell, number 49, just gets lapped. Burchell, another of the KTM riders in this race. Three riders now for Ryan Dixon to negotiate his way through. Well, it is the last lap, and Ryan Dixon has enough in hand, you would think. However, these three riders are just slowing him down, but it won't be enough to allow Holland and Smart to catch up as Ryan Dixon comes through to take the checkered flag and win the Sound of Thunder final. And this is how it pans out, with Ryan Dixon taking another victory at Aberdare. Will Holland in second, ahead of Andy Smart. Max Dixon fourth, Alex Sinclair fifth, and Dean McMaster in sixth.
Coming right up, there's more road racing action from Aberdare. Welcome back to Aberdare, where we're about to go racing once again.
This is how they line up then for the second Golden Era race, and Alex Sinclair in pole position, Tony Griffiths and Marty Robbins completing the front row, Wayne Axon, Dan Pearson, Richard Hughes on row 2, Dan Hamby, Shannon Bishop and Lee Davis on row number 3. The question is, can anyone get near Alex Sinclair? He dominated the earlier race. A hand up there from somebody, but we seem to be underway. And it is a good start from Shannon Bishop on 120, or certainly a fast start. And maybe fourth place going into Rosaries for the first time. No surprise to see Alex Sinclair in first place, Tony Griffiths in second. Sinclair dominating the first Golden Era race earlier today. So you just can't see anyone getting near him again. It could all be about this massive battle further down the order. 383 Richard Hughes on the CB500, and already Sinclair pulling away on the Ducati. So Sinclair with a big lead. However, there's a big battle going on further on behind. Griffiths, Axon, Pearson, Bishop, Robbins. It's Griffiths in second position, Axon in third. So just watch Shannon Bishop in the middle of the pack there, just going out to the right and looking for the long way round into the first turn. No surprise to see Sinclair still leading. It should be Griffiths still in second place. Indeed it is. Axon and Pearson, the battle for third. And then a bit of a gap back to fifth place. See how bumpy this track is as well in parts. We're at the halfway stage, and it's still game on for, well, certainly third place. I was going to suggest second, but I think Axon and Pearson need to decide between them who's going to have third. Pearson on the ER 500. There is Shannon Bishop with Marty Robbins just behind. The Suzuki Bandit against the CB 500. Lee Davis now providing the pictures just inside the top 10. Another Suzuki Bandit in this race. There's a man in second, and there's that battle for third still going on. And Axon just cannot shake off Pearson. Sinclair, meanwhile, just pulling further and further away out in front. Here's a battle of the fifth between Bishop and Robbins. Sinclair already in amongst the slower riders. The MZ 250 as he crosses the line to take the checkered flag. Tony Griffiths should be in second place. Indeed he is. Second place I should say for Griffiths. And Axon takes third, just ahead of Pearson. 10 laps completed. This is how it finishes. No surprise to see Alex Sinclair making it a double win in the Golden Era class. Tony Griffiths in second place, and Wayne Axon just seeing off Dan Pearson for third. "12 laps, the race distance for this, the first Welsh Open final race of the weekend. In pole position, Jay Bella-Smith. Alongside him, Ryan Dixon on row number 1. Dixon looking to regain the Welsh Open title. Andy Smart completing the front row. Mark Goodings, Rindred Jones on row 2. Collins, Lambden and Matthews on row 3. McMaster, Holland, Max Dixon on row number 4. Here we go then. They're powering their way down, and it's going to be, it looks like Dixon. What a start from Ryan Dixon from the middle of the front row. Bella-Smith just has to slot into second place, but Ryan Dixon, well, he wants to regain the Welsh Open title this weekend. He started in the best possible fashion. However, Bella-Smith, having really lost the advantage of having pole position, will be doing his utmost to try and take first place from him. And it's Goodings and Smart also in there as well. So just looking back from Mark Goodings from row number 2. Powers away ahead of Smart, but just tucks in behind Bella-Smith and Ryan Dixon. Well, Bella-Smith, a hint perhaps he's just struggling to stay with Ryan Dixon. That gap's a little bit bigger this time around. Still in third place is Goodings, Smart in fourth. We're back on board with Goodings, looking back at Smart. It's so tight, it's so twisty, especially through this section. Surface, it has to say, even though it's bumpy, it does look great. Back with Jay Bella-Smith, just watching Dixon squeeze out a few tenths of a second a lap here on him. Again, this battle for the third. Gooding still has it from Smart, but Smart all over the back, and he's gone too far. He'll recover, but Andy Smart really pushing hard. However, he's lost a bit of momentum, and that works in Gooding's favour. So Goodings really can now no longer have to think about Smart and can concentrate on closing the gap down to Bella-Smith and Dixon out in front. In fact, Joey Lambden is up a position now as well. To start another lap, and it's still Ryan Dixon. So both Dixon and Bella-Smith going under the 40-second mark. The only riders to do so. Mark Gooding still holding third place. Smart trying to work his way back to fourth. The race leaders coming through. This is the man in third place, just looking back at the battle for fourth position. It's the Triumph of Dixon, who leads in this Welsh Open final from J. Bella Smith on the Honda. And each lap, that gap just increasing slightly. Dixon just a couple of tenths a second a lap, but when you add them all together, it just, that advantage continues to increase between first and second place. And I have to say, Ryan Dixon so far today has looked inch perfect in every race. Oh, as I say that, just not that he would have noticed then, a little bit of movement in the rear wheel. The Goodings still holding third position. Bit of a lonely ride maybe for Mark Goodings, unless he can close that gap down to Bella Smith and make something of a battle for it for second place. At the moment, Bella Smith just concentrating on trying to close down this man, Ryan Dixon, the race leader on the Triumph. It must be frustrating for J. Bella Smith just to watch Dixon just squeezing ahead, these little gaps each turn. It's pulling further and further away. Bella Smith has just got to focus, keep his concentration. Try and work it back down if he can. Again, perfect from Dixon and perfect from Bella Smith, as we said. Goodings, and there is Lambden still in fourth, with Smart in fifth position. Well, Bella Smith has closed it down a little bit, it has to be said. Goodings still in a lonely third. Smart is closing in on Lambden. Watching the going through the gears there for J. Bella Smith on the Honda. Mark Goodings giving us a rear view. Lambden still in fourth, Smart still in fifth. A good crowd as well here today to enjoy the racing at Aberdare. Been racing here since the 1950s. J. Bella Smith though, yeah, I think he knows it's going to be second place. He's just checking to make sure where Mark Goodings is. And it is indeed Smart who has passed Lambden for fourth place. So Smart is up into fourth at the expense of Joey Lambden. Dixon, absolutely superb. He knows there's one more lap to go. So we've just really over half a minute of racing left in this Welsh Open final. J. Bella Smith just has to make sure he brings it home in second place. Doesn't look like there's enough traffic on there to hold up Ryan Dixon. Even if there was, the gap is around 4 seconds now to J. Bella Smith in second position. So he's certainly got time in hand, Ryan Dixon. J. Bella Smith will take second place by the looks of things, but it's the victory lap for Ryan Dixon. Here we go. Crosses the line now, takes the checkered flag. The victory then for Ryan Dixon. And it should be J. Bella Smith in second position with Mark Goodings in third. Indeed it is, that's how they finish. Fourth place going to Andy Smart, Joey Lambden in fifth, Brandon Brindred in sixth position.
That's all for now. Join us again next time at Aberdare for our second highlights programme. Until then, it's goodbye for now.